Hello and welcome back, everybody, for our post-match halftime show here, or post-game one halftime show, I should say. We still have another game ahead of us, but man, that one felt like such a stomp. Woo, Cubby, we went into this one. We talked about the similar styles of these teams. I was like, should Dignitas be concerned? And you were like, probably not too much. But Golden Guardians stepping out here with this kind of performance, that was dominating.
I think one of the things I've liked about the last couple weeks, I know we've had a lot of 1-1 splits and a lot of one-sided games, but that also tells me that some of the teams are really cleaning up how they're able to snowball. And I think that was a great example from Golden Guardians. It's one of the strongest games we've seen of them this split. I think their series yesterday, I know that game 2 against FlyQuest were the ones that ended up having it be one-sided, but that was a clean snowball. Saw CLG get a clean snowball earlier today. That just kind of tells me that a lot of these academy teams are at least leveling up in the sense that once they get leads, they're running with it. It's one thing we really like to see in the league. And we'll have to see if Dignitas can get a lead and run with it in this next one, because Golden Guardians really put them deep in the hole early.
Exactly. And Ruff, I now want to get your general thoughts on your boys XU and the rest of Dignitas Academy. Ruff showing game one. What's
sometimes the party bus, when you're getting ready, you realize you don't have any tires anymore, and you look in the back and there's no spare tires either, and you're just like,
sometimes.
Oh man.
Wait,
well,
what kind of party bus experiences have you had,
dude? When you don't pay much for a party bus, you get what you pay for, you know. So. It's okay. Game 2, maybe we'll see something different.
You gotta look at your contractor. Look at who you're renting from, because we've had very different experiences. But regardless, game 1 happened. I do want to take an opportunity to relive it, though, because during the halftime shows, we like to keep things loose and have a little bit of fun with our analysis. So we're going to play another game here today that we like to call Pixel Perfect. Cue the music, production.
Let's go!
And bring up the graphic if you have it prepped and ready to go. A reminder for anybody who doesn't know what this game is, Pixel Perfect. I've taken screenshots of the game to retell the story of what happened in that game. And there's a point system, pretty rudimentary, doesn't mean much if we're being honest, but 1 point for 16-bit, 2 points for 8-bit, and 3 points for 1-bit.
I'm here to win, baby.
It means everything. All right, you know what it means? It means pride for the casters, because this is the test to see who remembers the game better, color casters or play-by-plays. So, you guys know the rules from the talent side. Rafa, I'm going to let you start off first, as play-by-plays have been winning in the game shows as of late, and I'm going to see if we can keep that rolling. So, for Pixel Perfect, which one are you going to choose? A 16-bit, an 8-bit, or a 1-bit category?
You already know.
I hate that you just, every single time it's the same conversation between us. We got to change this up,
This is how Rafa plays League of Legends, too. It's like, are we taking the play? You already know. We're going in.
You already know.
This is the most fun,
All right, so we're going
I mean, like, I'm not a pro player. I live or die. Okay.
That's a 1-bit?
Well, 1-bit, Rafa, when was this happening in the game? What is the context around this
there is
screenshot?
A desperation play from Dignitas where they're like, okay, we're down a lot of gold. They've just taken 2 turrets in the mid lane, outer tier 1s. Let's try to jump and goon squad Ryoma in the top set of the map, and it just does not pan out that well.
How did you know it?
How
did you know it, Rafa? Oh my goodness.
Are you sure that was a 1-bit?
Oh my goodness.
Are you sure that was a 1-bit?
So, you know, when the game's that one-sided, Cubby, sometimes it can be hard because you're scrambling at the end like, oh, the game's already over. All right, well, let's get into the 1-bit categories. That is correct. This was the desperation play from Dignitas. The fact that Ryoma lives here is just ridiculous.
It was a beautiful black shield by Chime. I do want to credit him because he waited out on some of the initial magic damage, dropped it after, and that's what saved Ryoma from the shockwave, because he had enough gas in the tank on that shield to prevent that from pulling him back in. So, well done by Chime into Golden Guardians in that play.
All right, well, next up, Cubby, you're up in the seat. There's 3 points to Rafa, so what you want to go for?
I got to go with a 1-bit. He got it. I need to send it. Now, if this isn't as easy as that, I feel like you rigged the game against color casters, which...
This one should be pretty easy. I'm not going to lie. I think the 1-bits were a little easier this time around. So what is the context of this image right here?
Oh, it's Stixay auto-attacking with Caitlyn over the Baron wall. All right.
All right. Let's see. Was it that hard? Was it really that easy?
Good job. Good job,
yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it. Absolutely. I mean, again, towards the end of the game, it was like, was it this or the triple kill? That was kind of the decision. It's like, I guess he got 2 triple kills. So congrats to Stixay on the Caitlyn performance. But this one's just funny to see, honestly. Like, the control that Golden Guardians had, that Stixay's able to hit this from over the wall and then still go for the fight afterward, just kind of silly.
That's some of like the advanced Caitlyn mechanics that I'd love to see out of players who have just mastered every single part about a champion. Good example of that there from Stixay.
Caitlyn likes to play it. Even Rafa had that call in the game. MSI performance.
Never
Remember
forget that,
the
man.
callback. Speaking
Dude,
of,
that was lit.
Rafa,
man.
you're up next. You're up next. 3-3 on the scoreboard. Apparently, my 1-bits were too easy.
Go
They were.
8-bit. 8-bit.
2-bit? 8-bit, right. I don't even know my own rules. All right, 8-bit. Coming up next. What is the context of this image that will be coming on your screen shortly, Rafa? As soon as it's up, there you go.
Is this where Cubby's panicking? Like, hey, can you use Rift Herald, Iconic? Can you please use Rift Herald? We're running out of time here, and Iconic finally drops it mid lane.
Yeah, okay. I guess I went way too easy on y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I was not convinced that he remembered he had the Herald.
I mean,
I was on Cubby's side here.
Rafa was teasing like during the cast about like how I looked during that play. I was literally like sitting like just like this, like Iconic, man, you gotta drop this, buddy. Like, please, for the love of God, like throw down the Rift Herald, man. Like,
those moments are so embarrassing. Like, because we've seen pros do that before, right? Either forgetting to pick up the Herald or not dropping it down.
But
he did.
Nice moment there from Golden Guardians. They were winning all 3 lanes. Throw it mid, take the points against the big wave clear mid laner. Keep on winning those 3 lanes. Keep the towers up a little bit longer. It's good stuff.
Means it's over to you, Cubby. Do you want to go for another 8-bit? Because, yeah, right now Rafa's running you under the table
I've
here.
matched. I have every single time he's raised, I have called. All right.
You have matched. So we've completed both of the 1-bits, one of the 8-bits. Now we're going to go back here. What is the context of this image that will be coming up on your screen shortly under the 8-bit category for 2 points?
Ryoma flashing in between the mid towers to take on Spawn and JJ.
Okay, I gotta make these harder. I gotta find some way to actually make this a challenging game because this one's embarrassing for me as a host at this point. But look at how Chad he is. Look at this positioning right here. Who does this?
Tommy Lay, baby.
I'm looking at the scoreboard, and I think major lead is when you have 55% or more of the gold in the game. And I'm not a mathematician, but at this point, Golden Guardians are in that state of the game, and I think they recognized it, able to run with it. These guys are pretty good. Good stuff.
Understandable. That means that we only have 2 of the 16-bit category left, each worth 1 point. It's a tied game right now between our 2 contestants. Rafa, I'm just going to give it to you because we already know it's going to be a 1-bit. So let's take a look here as we go to the first of the 16-bit category. This will put you in the lead if you can get it yet again. What is the context of this image you're seeing on your screen?
Wait, this is harder than the 1-bit. What?
You know what? Now that you say it, it actually is probably the hardest one in the entire list.
I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know what point of the game it is.
Just give the context. What is the context of this image?
Dude, I don't even. Am I looking at?
Did I gank you with the 16-bit?
Mark, come on. I got faith.
I was thinking of giving more information on this, but I was like, nah, all they need is the gold, and they should know it.
Dude,
You got 5 seconds, Rafa.
You got this, buddy.
Okay,
3,
past the 15-minute mark, this is like objective bounty for... Dude,
No, you already gave the incorrect information when you said 15-minute mark. That's a hint for Cubby, but it sounds like he already knows what this is.
Or like how much gold Golden Guardians were up at 8?
Absolutely. Before 8 minutes. And again, the context here.
Okay.
Every lane was winning without Iconic even like helping out. Iconic was 0-0-0. Okay, everybody's ahead.
Listen, the reason why that confused me is because that looked like a timer, not. And I know that was the gold, but for some reason, I just did not remember that like there's a point after like I don't know.
You know what? To be fair, they did change up the scoreboard in this patch for the better. But
they did.
Towers are back.
True.
Yeah.
It does look crisp right now, but we have to get to the final one because Pick a Man is almost ready to go underway. We still have about a minute left, so this is the final one for you, Cubby. Before we get into game number 2 here, what is the context of the final 16-bit? As you're already winning.
This was the Ryoma Flash and the Dark Wings, where they were able to chain the root from Ryze into then the Dark Binding from Morgana.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good job. Congratulations, Cubby. You did. Pass with fly colors, getting another win for Team Color Caster.
I got to pick it up for
needed.
Josh. He's my teammate, Joshi. You can go check him out on twitch.tv/faceit, as I believe their series is still going on. Shameless plug.
True. They do have 2 best of 2s on that stream as we're now getting ready for pick and ban for our second game of our second series here on the Academy channel. So with that said, let's not waste any more time. I'm going to pass it over to just Rafa and Cubby to get us in to game number 2.
Damn, I really dropped the ball on what should have been
a tough one.
The easiest question. Oh my god.
It should have been, but you know, Kangas said he was inting a bit as host. Maybe we blame him.
If I blame him, then it's just copium, and I won't I won't induct myself into copium. I'll just accept responsibility for my loss. I feel
like we're NA fans, so we already like have an amount of copium that we can get to with international events. But here in Academy, it's only hopium.
You know, that's why I think we remember 2016 MSI so fondly, because that was the best showing. At least an NA team had internationally.
Amazing. Yeah, when CLG beat RNG. If you weren't a League fan back then, one of the greatest moments in NA history, like up until that point.
One of the greatest calls too from Kobe, man.
Featuring Darshan in the last game and Stixay in this one.
That's right. Well, times have changed. That was 6 years ago, Cubby. But we're now in 2022, no longer 2016, and we are blazing through the pick and ban phase. Golden Guardians, they get their hands on Zeri this time around.
All right, so that's the pivot from Dignitas, not banning the Zeri, instead respecting Stixay's Caitlyn. We did see Golden Guardians prioritize the Jinx over the Zeri yesterday against FlyQuest, but that's banned away. Gonna have to see if Stixay is on that champion. I will say, I have put out some feelers to a couple marksmen across the NA ecosystem about the Zeri builds. I know that I've had some people say that Crit's better. We've seen specifically Danny and Ruler over in LCK building Crit. The majority build that we're still seeing is that Trinity Force into the Hurricane, into the Titanic Hydra, so kind of that tanky on hit build. But I gotta pause everything because guess what? Iconic, his Diana was not banned. Part of the reason we see that banned is because him and especially Ryoma's Yasuo so good. We're seeing the combo against 2 immobile backliners. Golden Guardians going to push the pedal to the metal early.
And Golden Guardians, this Yasuo-Diana combo has been something that hasn't had 100% success on stage, but it is something that Iconic and Ryoma love playing. And this is a time where after getting such a convincing win against Dignitas in the first game, playing a more of a standard composition for them and a really clean game, this is a chance for them to say, okay, let's practice this composition. Let's see if we can nail this down and get through some of the mistakes that we had the last time we brought this out on stage.
Iconic is 5-3 on the Diana, so it has worked out all right for them. And I think one of the things that makes this really powerful for Golden Guardians is that not only can they pair it with Ryoma's Yasuo, but he's also an amazing Lucian player. They can also put Renekton top for Tony top. I think that's really tough to deal with as well. And that's where my eyes go now in the draft is what happens with Renekton? Do Dignitas feel pressured to ban that out here or take it for themselves? Because if you have Renekton with Diana and Yasuo, that gives Diana 2 lanes that she can attack. Dignitas see that. They're going to take that away from Tony top. So we'll see if Tony top, what he ends up taking into the top lane, if he's able to find another pick where Iconic might be able to play towards.
Support bans coming out the wazoo here as well, since neither team has locked down an option for JJ or Chime.
Toad takeaway. Potentially. Or the Toad's taken away, maybe a Thresh takeaway here for JJ. Yep.
Good read. Good read.
Personally, I really like Alistar in the Diana Yasuo, but it's not something that you can blind. I think the best blind here, as they want to go for support, would actually be the Leona. So I think that's an option. It's really tough to get onto the Zeri, but you can at least force a cleanse from the Zeri. This is very different. What we've seen Xin Lulu do well. This is technically a flex pick, as it can be played top for Eclipse. And Rafa, we have to pause everything because Chime, he has been playing the Blitzcrank a little bit. He's got 4 plays on it. He's 3-1. He loves picking it into Lulu. I would not be surprised this is locked in.
And you got another knockup option. Yep. Power Fist.
Okay. Now, what if they do this? What if they put the... Oh, okay, it's not the Blitz. I was going to say, if they locked in Blitzcrank, what if they put the Lulu top and then pick that Alistar I was teasing?
That would have been pretty sick. And I don't know if maybe Golden Guardians are on the same wavelength as you as they thought about that interaction. No.
So this is pretty good with Diana Yasuo, because what you can do...
Okay.
I would still like to see it.
We're getting debated by hovers.
Yeah.
We should know this by now, but now you have Knock-Up City in almost every single lane outside the Zeri.
Aatrox is a pretty standard counter that we see. Actually would be really good in the composition that Golden Guardians is flashing. Something that Eclipse can't play. So I think this will be the lock-in. For Dignitas, if this Aatrox is locked, it is about getting into the later stages and not having Diana Yasuo blow you up in the mid game. Once they hit those one-item spikes, whenever Diana is able to get 6, Yasuo has 6, it is about them hunting everyone on the map, finding those fights where the fight ends before Dignitas can recover. Because that upfront damage from this Diana Yasuo combo, it's really tough to deal with, especially when you have these two immobile carries. So Dignitas, I think it's important that they're able to steady the storm early. And if they're able to utilize the disengage they have between Lulu Xin, that's how they can try and fight back against the composition that Golden Guardians has.
You gotta match the brawl for brawl power for Dignitas. Eclipse, on this champion of the Aatrox, historically has been one of his better picks when he was playing on TSM Amateur. And then, of course, Dignitas returning to a little bit of comfort for a couple of these players in XU and Darkwings as well. Xin Zhao back for XU, giving him that agency that I think Dignitas really needed, as clearly shown in Game 1. XU not really able to respond to a lot of the pressure that Golden Guardians was mounting across the entire Rift. And Darkwings, in yesterday's series against Evil Geniuses, we saw some really, really strong Rise performance out of him in those two games. So I'm really expecting Darkwings to have a better impact on the map. It is tough playing against Yasuo Diana because this combo is so deadly, but this is a chance for Dignitas to redeem themselves.
The good part for Dig is that with Rise and these new Rise builds, you do get a lot of tankiness. And, you know, going Fimbulwinter into Frozen Heart, Rise isn't the one that Golden Guardians going to be looking to combo. It's all about getting on top of spawn. And when we opened up our pre-show for this series, we were talking a lot about Stixxay versus Spawn. These are the two marksmen that have the highest gold diff at 15, not only because of how well they laned, but also because of how well the teams play around them. It feels like this is a game where attacking bot is the game plan for Dig, whereas for Golden Guardians, it's about getting this mid-jungle duo unlocked. And if that happens, Spawn's going to be in trouble. So I really want to keep our eyes on Ryoma and Iconic. We are getting into the map. And Rafa.
Well, Darkwings is able to see through his peripheral vision. Just the members of Golden Guardians sneaking on through this choke point. A dredge line from Chime does not find Darkwings on the back end. And they don't get any vision down aggressively for Golden Guardians. It's just a little bit of a brute force entry. XU, though, takes some time, sneaks in a ward.
And I think another good opener, so teased about Ryoma Iconic getting unlocked. I think another big counter for Dignitas, said XU, really what gets this team going. Stereotypical to say as a jungler, but this guy, some of the highest kills plus assists at 14 out of any jungler that we have in the league. I think he has a good opportunity to attack mid. Yasuo is a very good matchup into Rise, but pre-6, you have that empowered Rune Prison. Xin Zhao Rise, such a strong combo. I want to see if they're able to get on top of Yasuo, maybe set Ryoma behind early. So that would really set behind the plans that Golden Guardians have on the map.
You know, last time Spawn and JJ were in this lane against Stixxay and Chime, they were super aggressive, trying to push back, looking for all-ins. They didn't quite find enough of an advantage and were eventually pushed back by Stixxay and Chime. This time with a different bot lane setup, we'll have to keep a check-in and see how this bottom lane does, because Stixxay and Chime have been such a remarkable duo in these opening weeks of Academy Split.
You can see Stixxay just spamming those Qs on the Zeri, getting a little bit of poke damage on the JJ. They should be able to nat level 2 first, and they want to make this lane volatile. They have their jungler pathing down towards them as that dredge line barely falls short from Chime. Not able to connect. Will help out Dignitas keep their health bars up. As you can see XU's response, he's actually gotten to this bot side very quickly, Rafa. He has gone red Raptors into this Gromp. I think he's trying to flip his pathing. And now Chime, he's using this priority. He's going to attack mid.
And Chime could flash over the wall to lock down the distance. And he still connects the dredge line onto Darkwings. First blood for Golden Guardians.
What a good use of prio from Chime, as we said that you can break that Yasuo with Rise.
No.
Oh, no.
XU, you don't have support, my friend. Chime is still there behind you after ganking mid lane, and JJ cannot save him. It's going to be a forced flash from XU.
And it's somewhat of a disaster for Dignitas, because the way you break Diana Yasuo is by slowing down the Diana from farming and trying to punish Yasuo early. Chime's roam and Xyu's faulty invade, that shoves any early game plan that Dignitas had to break what GG wants to do early on the map to the side, and Golden Guardians are off to the races again here, Rafa.
Iconic pretty much undeterred in what his first plan was anyway on the full clear for this opening first 4 minutes of the game. Xyu doesn't really have a lane that he can play towards at the moment right now. The lane is pushed out on the bottom side of the map. Can't really attack Ryoma after Darkwing's forced to use his flash in the mid lane as well. And maybe Xyu can look towards the top side of the map, but his options are running out.
And honestly, that topside matchup, that's one where, in isolation, Eclipse just wins. And now, this is a Gragas, and that is how most Gragas matchups go. But I think that you kind of want to make sure you're helping out your mid laner and bot lane first. So I would be surprised if Xyu makes his way up top at any point in this game. Same with Iconic, for that matter, as it's just going to be about dealing with the rest of the map. And I think this makes things difficult for Dig, because we talked about how these teams play pretty similar styles, a lot of focus on the bot lane. And it's another game where Golden Guardians just gotten so far ahead in both mid and somewhat bot. And it's tough for Dig to respond when Darkwings isn't able to go assist that bot lane, isn't able to get out of lane. Ryoma's the one that's going to have full priority to move in this mid lane matchup.
And if you already thought that a Yasuo that was doing well in lane is scary, one that can get out of lane and rotate over to a side lane, especially ones like with Tony Top and Chime who have knock-up support to facilitate, and you can have Ryoma be waiting in a bush through the river, and then you engage, and then suddenly Last Breath comes out, and he just blinks right on top of your carry.
That's what Dig's going to have to try and defeat. It's just going to be tough at this point, as you see Stixxay onto Zeri, the poke patterns. I love when I see Zeri's use that alcove to get the empowered slow. I think it's something that really creative. We've already seen it from Stixxay in this lane. Also seeing the solo ones too, just trying to max out the poke. Now, fortunately, JJ and Spawn have gotten out of the early levels, so things do get better for Lulu as she picks up levels, and the kill threat's a bit harder for this Nautilus to find. See Spawn at least getting some poke down, and with the shove, that's a cannon wave. Xyu has pulled this dragon, and Dignitas, I think they're going to have the window to take this.
Golden Guardians know that Xyu was in the area. They spotted him walking through the river, but this is a sacrifice they're willing to make. This allows the bottom lane to continue scaling. Iconic as well in his own right to farm up continuously. He has a slight level lead against Xyu at the moment as well, thanks to the camp advantage he's gotten, and JJ might be in a bad spot here. Still has Flash and Exhaust available. Iconic jumps right on top. The Ignite is ticking, and Iconic still follows through with the Lunar Rush. Might be a little too far forward. Doesn't have level 6. Iconic and
Darkwings
will go down. Spawn and Xyu have traded back, and Stixxay is able to get out. Chime should have the dredge line. Root from Darkwings, a flash forward from Spawn, locks him down with the last auto attack from the purple gun, but it's still not enough. Chime makes it out.
Just barely the sliver. Dignitas, it's a 1-for-1 trade. They get the dragon, but Golden Guardians are still okay with that. It's all about hitting 6 on Iconic and Ryoma, and they have a 1k gold lead. They're going to be able to push around this Rift Herald if they want it, and I think that's the big play that Golden Guardians are looking for. So a good recovery from Dig to make sure that they are punishing and using some of the early power of Sin, as we're going to get a second look. Chime, Dredgeline goes wide. JJ still goes down. They at least get the Ryoma to overcommit, so they trade out. But on the back half, I love how Stixxay played this, using the flash to get over the wall, buying that space. You can see him just peppering in the damage as Chime barely able to get out. Because Stixxay was able to play safe, he was able to get in, get the heal to ensure that Chime wasn't going anywhere. He was standing on the Rift.
As we're back to live here, 30 minutes before the Rift Herald spawns, Dignitas are going to try this once again. And Chime might get caught out. No flash available. It looks like Dignitas are going to try and make this attack work out. But Chime is able to get out alive.
Look at Stixxay. Oh my goodness. The damage he's able to return. It's something that really tough now, because since Xyu showed on this bot side, we're now at the 8-minute mark, Rafa. And I think Iconic Ryoma, Iconic has 6. He has been zooming through this jungle. He has just been spamming camps on this Diana. He's going to start taking away these topside camps from XU, and he has 6. So him and Ryoma could look to sync up here if they want it.
Iconic is just going to make short work of these chicken nuggets here. XU will not be able to get his hands on them. Ryoma was looking for a reset anyway. So this is still playing into the overall win condition of Golden Guardians. Ryoma taking his time, having this natural CS lead over Dark Wings, thanks to the pressure that Chime was able to put down off of the priority of the early laning phase. Ryoma and Iconic still want to bide their time and just scale up into this mid game where they will just really explode.
No Rift Herald attempt yet, but we are seeing the support start to hover around here as Chime helping make sure Ryoma's safe in this mid lane. I think importantly for Ryoma, he is ahead early, and this has been ensured greatly by Chime on the Nautilus. They're trying to make a play. Chime doesn't have flash, but they're looking.
Chime, no way! He still lands the dredge line from over the wall. I thought for sure that Darkwings with the early flash, he was going to get out, and he was so far away under the tower. But everyone from Golden Guardians commits after the dredge line connects. Golden Guardians just absolutely destroying Dark Wings.
And he just can't catch a break, man. First time around, he goes down because he flashes in the dredge line, straight line behind. And this time around, just 3 people sent by Golden Guardians, sticking to that textbook game plan that we pointed out. It's Diana Yasuo. It's not impossible to figure out, but it's really tough to beat. And Golden Guardians given some of the first moves, first saves they have on the map, and how far ahead Iconic's gotten in this jungle matchup. He's sitting at 2-1, Rafa. And we know what Diana can do if she gets ahead. This game is set up for Iconic to be that big carry.
XU getting ready to make a counter gank response here. Not sure if he was spotted. Golden Guardians going to be taking their leave now that Iconic has left the rift. I don't know if XU is actually spotted here, but Stixay, I think he knows. He's poking in the bushes right now with the burst fire, and he's keeping his distance. So XU cannot realistically get on top of him unless he is willing to burn flash. But Stixay still has Z. Can scale on out over towards...
When Stixay goes for this cannon, they're going to go.
Does he succeed in? Oh, it's going to... Oh, he dashes forward. XU now falls forward. Oh, patience is a virtue for Dignitas. Stixay throwing out the dab Pengu emote. He knows, like, well, all right, well, you did wait 30 seconds for me, and Golden Guardians will now have pressure on the top side of the map.
It's worth it. They find the play. You can see Eclipse taking the Raptors for himself to make sure Diana can't get in and counter. I do like that, cycling out the camps when your jungler's not there. That's the right call, as it's a trade on the map, getting plates for this Aphelios, making sure that Spawn is ahead. This is good for Dignitas, whereas Iconic punches back immediately. Rift Herald will go over to the side of Golden Guardians.
And during a lot of the early minutes of the game, something that Golden Guardians has done extremely well is that anytime that Chime has made moves towards the mid lane, accelerating Ryoma and Iconic as well. Stixay was playing safe, and there wasn't just enough pressure from Spawn and JJ by themselves. So XU recognizing that, hey, they just need a little extra help. They need one more man to really push in forward. They finally get the punish down, making sure that Stixay recognizes that he cannot just free farm in a 1v2 because there just might be a Xin Zhao waiting.
Second dragon over to Dignitas. That's big, as Dignitas, they are the team that scales. And I think getting these first 2 dragons, having Aphelios go late, it's interesting. Tony Top on this Gragas actually going for the more magic damage heavy build, as it is going to be what looks to be an Everfrost into what I assume to be a Fimbulwinter on this top side, as Tony...
Ooh.
Yeah, he's in trouble. He's got to burn the flash from Eclipse. Good play by the top laner, Dignitas. Much better use of counterpick in this game.
Yeah, the Fiora Renekton not working out that great. Tony Top had a huge advantage in that matchup last time around, just playing it extremely well.
Put it really well.
Yeah. But Eclipse now getting the better end of this time, and no jungle interference has come through for either XU or Iconic. So naturally, Eclipse has just been playing and winning out slowly against Tony Top. Tony Top will still have great CC and a decent amount of damage thanks to the more heavy AP build, as you already noted on, but at least Eclipse will be able to feel like he can contribute more to these upcoming fights.
And I'm curious to see where Iconic ends up dropping this Herald. I expect it to be dropped mid to try and get some more gold onto Ryoma and maybe break the wave clear of Dark Wings, but At the moment, Iconic just trying to keep on funneling himself. He's doing a really nice job of that. Up about 4 camps. And yeah, here it comes. Ryoma. He's at least going to stick around, get a couple plates. Actually, he's going to be here to hover, but damage is done. Raptor's taken away. Shelly getting the crash. 3 plates over to Ryoma.
Honestly,
well, 2. What? 2 were shared.
You know, Rift Herald is great for Golden Guardians, but as someone who was wondering whether Iconic was going to make Darkwing's life even more miserable, they don't go for the dive. XU is there to protect his mid laner just in case a Flash, Lunar Rush, Moonfall, and the Last Breath combo was there on the table. Darkwing still not tanky enough to survive an onslaught like that. Will be able to hold on to the tower despite a lot of the damage that has been done.
Oh, all in.
Spawn still has Flash, so he shouldn't go down in this exchange. It is a lot of pressure from Stixxay and Chime. Ignite was exchanged from Chime as well. They're pushing Spawn and JJ back onto this tower.
Ooh.
No one can really rotate from Golden Guardians and pressure them off of it, so Spawn and JJ, while being down in HP, will be able to hold on.
And I love when Golden Guardians are taking that bot lane trade, because look at the items. Trinity Force, completed for Stixxay. Spawn has not been able to reset and pick up his first Mythic, so they just take the health bar trade. And now it's Ryoma forcing hard in the mid lane. Iconic and him working down. This is good map play coming out from the team as Stixxay and Chime find that advantage, but now they're able to rotate. They don't even have to make the play, but they do pressure Spawn off half a wave.
Spawn and JJ will be able to clear out this last couple minions. Stixxay doesn't get a chance to secure the tower quite yet. And XU has a couple choices here. He can either path towards the bottom side of the map and pick up these camps and save Spawn and JJ, maybe bail them out if Golden Guardians look to pressure them once again. Or he can path towards the top side of the map where Eclipse has been slowly winning out this lane, and maybe they can put pressure and exchange turrets 1-for-1 as Spawn and JJ, they're trying their best to hold on, but Stixxay is getting awfully close to just picking this up by himself.
It's past the 14-minute mark, so plates are down. That means turrets a little bit easier to take. Stixxay really playing this aggressively. Mind you, in the 1v2.
We already noted before that Spawn and JJ don't have enough pressure as a Aphelios and Lulu combination to lock down Stixxay. They don't have enough CC by themselves. So it really does require someone like XU or Darkwings coming over as a 3-man to prevent Stixxay from being able to just bully and manhandle this lane by himself. And it gives Chime so much pressure to roam mid lane and cover it as well.
And it's something that Yasuo comps need. He is a melee champion. He's got to push into the enemy side of the map if you want to be effective. And so the fact that Golden Guardians are able to, have the Sari in the bot lane that's so tough to move, it is a part of what makes this Yasuo comp work. And now we're really going to have to see if the Yasuo comp's able to hit its stride, because this is the power point for Golden Guardians. It is mythic items completed on both this Diana and Yasuo. 30 seconds till this dragon. It is a mountain soul. So Dignitas, they pick this up. Honestly, really big for them. It would help survive the upfront damage that a Diana Yasuo comp packs. And I think this is the time where Golden Guardians, they want to push the pace. They know it's their time to fight. They want to have this one.
They made a conscious choice as well to give over first brick by making sure they were the first ones to the mid lane, getting the priority, shoving into the river, and now they're the ones first into the pit. They know how important it is to secure the third dragon of the game for themselves. Tony Top isn't here quite yet, doesn't have teleport at least available either, but Golden Guardians looking for the combo. They have both Moonfall and Last Breath available. They're dashing in onto Dark Wings, finds the Last Breath onto one, and that's a steal from Iconic on the dragon. But can they get out alive? That is the question. Ryoma has already gone down. Eclipse is here for the party and the cleanup. Pops the World Ender, looking for a little bit more damage, but the CC chain still not enough to save Iconic. And Eclipse, does he have enough lifesteal to lifesteal through this one? There's no damage from Chime, not enough from Tony Top, but Stixxay will be here to clean it up.
But still, Dignitas, they win out on the fight because they pressured that Baron so quickly. Golden Guardians weren't able to get the proper setup. They weren't able to utilize the power of the Diana Yasuo combos. You're going to see Ryoma, he has to cast the ult on his own just to survive the 1v1 versus Dark Wings. Now, the Dragon does go over to Iconic. Early spike from XU, not able to secure it. But Dignitas, importantly, I think, win the back half of the fight. Now, they do lose the Dragon. They do lose that mid-outer turret as we get out of the replay. But if you aren't able to take down this Aatrox, it is against a comp that has to jump into you. And Aatrox is so good at dealing with those compositions. And we saw some of the power that you have. If you're playing Diana Yasuo, you don't take him out of the fight early, he can win the elongated skirmish.
Tony Top does have teleport, getting a reset in right now, so does Eclipse. But the pace that Dignitas are burning down this Rift Herald and where Golden Guardians are positioned right now on the map, Doesn't seem like we will see a contest. So this will be the second objective for Dignitas this game after the first 2 dragons. Rift Herald being secured gives them some options to try and unlock the map.
And credit to Dignitas. One thing we've said and really praised this team for is their ability to make calls as a team. Burning down that dragon. Open up the window and put the pressure on Golden Guardians for them to not be able to set up.
Ah! No, JJ!
Oh, boy.
He has flash, but I don't know if he can get out of the CC chain. Wild Growth already expended. Exhaust will deter Golden Guardians. And that is an ultimate for ultimate plus a summoner spell. They've engaged on a spawn, but no last breath available. And look at this! Dark Wings with the Realm Warp, but he's going to get bursted down. Eclipse, it's up to you to turn this one around by yourself, but JJ doesn't have Wild Growth available. And a beautiful explosive cast from Tony Top. Splits the support away from Eclipse. He lifesteals a lot, but he cannot survive. And 6A now on the aggressive, getting the flash out. XU from over the wall, surprising 6A, getting the flash out, but can he burn him down? No, he gets out alive.
And Dignitas, that party bus, little bit too deep into the back line of Golden Guardians. They were able to turn it around as Eclipse. Yeah, he was delivered right into everyone, but Dignitas, a lot of defensive tools burned by JJ to make sure he's able to survive. I think the turn here was a bit over-ambitious. They saw the Diana Yasuo combo wasn't used. They thought they could win with both ultimates down. But no one can help Darkwings and Eclipse in this side of the fight. No one else is here to help them out. It's a 2v5. The cooldowns being down doesn't matter if you're going in this deep. Yeah, Eclipse buys all the time in the world, but Spawn is the one that has to be free hitting while this is going on. And he was forced out. He was forced to flash over here to kill the Raptors, get his health bar back.
And Dignitas starting to show a little bit of that greenness in this, pretty much a very young squad. And Dignitas kind of feeling a little desperate on the play here, but they're only down 3,000 gold. This is nowhere near as a disadvantage as it was in game 1, where they were almost down 10,000 gold at this point in the game. Dignitas can remember, hey guys, we're not as far as behind as we think we are. We can slow down the game, we scale, and let's just take the game slow and make sure that we're on the same page in these next few fights.
Dignitas are slowing things down a bit. It will be the Herald drops in the bot lane to make sure that Dignitas are able to pick up another objective. It's a $120 before the dragon spawns. We have Baron on the Rift now as well, as it will be a trade of turrets across the map. Outer's fallen.
Another turret picked up for Dignitas. Golden Guardians are able to trade and respawn on the top side of the map. We'll get one more crash. It's not going to find another tier 2 though. Just a lot of damage, and enabling Eclipse now to rotate on over first. No teleports available for either top laner, but Eclipse has the inside track here. And I know we said, Dignitas, you don't have to force every single fight and make sure you're all on the same page, but if everyone is here and they have the numbers advantage, they can look for something. 6A has no flash from before. Beautiful interrupt from Eclipse, canceling the dredge line. This is the Aatrox gameplay we expect from Eclipse. XU finds the shuts down and survives.
Dignitas, though, he is fighting. He is doing so much damage as half the health bar has been taken off from Spawn and XU. That's enough for GG to go.
And Eclipse tries to split it up. Moonfall from Iconic finds Spawn. Ryoma doesn't necessarily need the last breath to follow up because he solo kills alongside Stixay the Eclipse. JJ routed off here. No way to get out of this one. Iconic will be able to cut off his escape route as well. Not enough movement speed. JJ, he's struggling to get to the finish line, but he can't make it.
That will be the Dragon going over to Golden Guardians again, and I really want to credit Stixay on that dive. The damage that he was able to output while they were taking down Chime at support, that's what enabled Golden Guardians to find this ring gauge. We get a second look. Yeah, it's a beautiful cancel here by Eclipse, but look at all the damage that Stixay is able to pepper in, as that ult helps buy time, helps take down XU, and that's enough for Golden Guardians to go. The Diana Yasuo combo isn't even needed. They just split up and take down a member each on their own.
The extended fight, the second fight afterwards from Golden Guardians, recognizing that Dignitas burned a lot of spells, and Dark Wings.
Go back to
he's in a bad spot here. It's against 2 tanks, but the base damage should be enough. And then, of course, if you bring a Samurai Swordsman over to the party as well, it is a sure death for Dark Wings.
Dark Wings trying to get not quite bounties out on the map now, but trying to respond off that back half of the play. Golden Guardians call him out as he overextends for the turret. Now, Golden Guardians have a power play. They have a 5v4 Barons on the map. They do it very quickly with the Yasuo.
It will
wondering if they look. They're set up.
Eclipse has teleport.
Here we go.
Making pressure on the bottom side of the map, but if Dignitas feel they need to answer this, you will see a teleport coming in. Is there any flank wars? Not really for Eclipse. They're not pulling the trigger quite yet. Dignitas, they might just rely on XU to see if he can just make a miracle steal. He has flash available. He just needs a way to get vision. Oh, he's in there. Oh my God, how does he do it? XU, every single time you can't flip the Baron against this man. And because Eclipse commits to the Baron, or commits to the side lane, he's pushing in with a Baron wave.
Dude, Dignitas, they love to play these objectives aggressively. On the back half, they're going to pick up Tony top 2 as a TP coming in. They have a 3v5.
And now Eclipse makes his entrance. Still no flash on the Stixxay. He's going to be able to skate on over the wall, but Chime might be in trouble. No flash on him either. Ryoma has to ditch him. He knows that this one is a lost fight. Dignitas fight back.
And how do Dig pull this off? I mean, you are going against a Gragas, a Nautilus. How did XU manage to get in that pit is just beyond me.
And Iconic wants to be able to find a play here. Beautiful flash from Spawn. Moonfall will not connect.
Ryoma's still going.
That's a lot of damage from Spawn, right? Ryoma's got to be a little careful on the forced entry on that one.
And now that we have some downtime, I want to take a second look at how I actually got in that pit. If we have a replay, shout out to production yet again. You can see the cast knocks him away.
Oh my.
He flashed over the dredge line. That he avoided the knockup, and that managed to get him in the pit. Somehow he takes the smite as XU, man. That's the second day in a row we've seen him find a hero play for Dig, and that was important because that keeps them in this game.
Yesterday, we saw XU get a Baron steal off against Evil Geniuses. Today, we see it once again. XU, when the tables are down, the chips are stacked against him, he still finds a way to sneak that objective over to Dignitas. Now, it doesn't win them the game. It doesn't bring them all the way back in the lead. They're still down in gold, but it provides so much relief for a composition that just needs time to scale up.
And Dig, I know yesterday when things got late in their game against EG, they didn't have enough damage. It was a Ryze Jhin combo for mid and AD. That comp, as the game goes on, especially if you go tank Ryze, the damage really falls off. This time around, it is Ryze, Aphelios, and an Aatrox against a team that has to go into you. Dignitas have the damage this time around. If they are able to survive that upfront damage, if they can protect Spawn, they are going to be able to try and turn things around against Golden Guardians in this game. So all of a sudden, this game went from being an easy win for GG with how things were going, if they were able to secure that Baron, able to keep on using these Diana Yasuo combos, to a game where Dignitas is very competitive again, just because XU somehow manages to get in that pit.
I think we're still going to be flabbergasted on how, just through sheer willpower, he manifested that Baron steal to be actualized in the vision that he had for the play. Dignitas slow down the pace of Golden Guardians overall. They stall out the game even further. The next dragon coming up in a minute's time, and Dignitas setting up the pieces necessary for the play.
And for GG, if I could draw on our feed, I would be circling Spawn's flash, because that is exactly what Golden Guardians have timed and are looking for. And you can see how far back Spawn's playing. He knows that he can't get out of this Diana Yasuo combo if it connects.
XU has been locked down. Crescent Guard used. Dark Wings flanking on the right side of the play. Iconic, watch for this combo. Spawn is trying to step up aggressively, but also keeping his distance, knowing that if he gets caught out, it is over for Dignitas. But Eclipse doing so much work. An explosive cast on a Spawn, but it just pelts him back. Iconic still hasn't found enough time to pull the trigger here, but Stixxay finds Eclipse. He's skating over the wall. He's going to turn it around, and there it is! Moonfall into last breath finds Spawn. Golden Guardians and the flash from Ryoma connecting the Steel Tempest. Golden Guardians take down Dignitas.
I thought that was the fight that Dig wanted. It was going long. It was in it for the long haul, but the patience from Iconic and Ryoma, they wait for the perfect timing to find Dignitas, and that's a clean ace. And just like that, Rafa, it's game.
Not even the hero Baron steal from XU could stop the sheer will of Golden Guardians to close this game out and sweep Dignitas 2-0. GG, well played to Golden Guardians.
And how nasty was that play from Ryoma? Not only the combo with Diana, but then the Yasuo mechanics to get the dash through the minions and have the NATO
flash,
knockup.
Man. Oh my God.
That's not easy to pull off, but Ryoma's Yasuo, we were teasing it. It's why the Diana's banned away from Golden Guardians so much, not only because Iconic's good at it, but because Ryoma's Yasuo and Lucian are nasty, such good combos with that Diana. Love to see that in the final fight as, man, I thought that game was close. I thought we were starting to get in it for the long haul. And just like that, last breath hits, last breath of Dignitas on that map. Golden Guardians take it.
Tommy Ryoma late. Dude, I know normally we would throw to a break, but if we can see that last fight once again, please show that. I need to relive that. The dopamine rush of a dash with Steel Tempest on a minion and then flashing the animation of that to land the 2-man knockup. Oh my God. That's pure mechanics.
All right, here we go. Shout out to our production yet again. So we're going to take a second look. I thought this was a good setup for Dig. They're doing a nice job of keeping Spawn safe without flash. Tony Top is buying time. Eclipse is in this front line, hitting some really big sweet spots on this Aatrox. But just like that on the back half, man, Spawn gets knocked away. How does Iconic get on Spawn here?
It's got to be it.
Oh,
he
dashed to the turret.
He dashed to the turret, gets the reset, and then flashing forward.
Watch this from Ryoma. Here we go. Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
wow.
my God.
That turret being used against the Aphelios. Spawn was being so careful, trying to play that out the best he could. When you don't have flash against that comp, it's tough. No flash, no stopwatch. Wasn't enough to stop the Diana Yasuo combo. In the end, Iconic Ryoma, they were inevitable that game. And Golden Guardians sweep Dignitas. And that puts them in a tie for first, Rafa.
Golden Guardians now ready to tango with CLG at the top of the standings, making a run by the end of the regular season to stamp themselves as the best Academy team. Of course, when we come back, it'll be Kangas getting an interview with Golden Guardians in our post-series show.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, for our post-match interview with Golden Gardens Academy support Chime. First of all, thank you for stepping in and having a conversation with us after that victory. Quick 2-0 over Dignitas Academy. And right off the bat, I want to talk about that composition that you put together for that last game. That was a wombo combo, to say the least. So what was the driving force behind those decisions?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just, I don't know, we said we could Diana Yasuo on 2-3, and we weren't really planning on it, and I think we just kind of figured out a comp around that to send it on the Aphelios, because he should have a hard time surviving, so I just kind of picked accordingly to that, even though I kind of wanted to play Soraka, so I think it worked out.
All right. It's unfortunate that you, I mean, the Nautilus play was incredible, but at the end of the game, you didn't have a chance to support to have that flashy of a play, but Ryoma on that Yasuo, whoo, that was some smooth gameplay right there to close out the game. So talk to me about having this team all together, because I mean, going into the season, we were expecting Violet. Stixay's been on, and now we are expecting Stixay to be the AD carry moving forward. And the team's gelling. The team's jiving right now. What does it feel like internally as a team to have this kind of momentum going forward?
I think, yeah, it's really nice to have these like 2-0 weeks. Or, I mean, I guess we were 3-1, but like 2-0 days. But I think it's like we're trying to make sure that we don't get any overconfident about it, because like my understanding from last year was that regular season doesn't matter as much as you think. Like every team is kind of figuring their identity out, so you really shouldn't like take it for granted when you win in the regular season.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And it's always looking at that proving grounds, right? The big tournament at the end of the academy season. So I wanted to start bringing our attention to that now, because you've had a chance to round robin against every team at least once, and now a couple of teams here at the end a second time. What do you feel about like the strength of some of the teams? Because there's a big clump in the middle, and then even some teams down below. But I mean, even dropping a game against FlyQuest yesterday, do you feel like there's any dark horses that we need to keep our eyes on going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think FlyQuest has a really good roster. I think like Tomo's been playing really well, and I think it's a good team. So it's like their record doesn't really reflect how good they are. And I think also C9 has been really coming together from what I've heard and what I've seen from them. I think they just needed to like mesh a bit. So I think those two teams, I'm really like keeping an eye on.
And you have to play against both of them in the coming weeks. So we only have 2 weeks left of the regular season for Academy Spring Split, which is just blowing my mind. And you have CLG next week, or no, Cloud9 next week, and then CLG the following week after that. You're currently tied with CLG at the top and Cloud9 close behind. Which team are you more worried about going forward?
I think I know more about CLG because I've played with two of their players a fair bit. And whereas I don't know as much about C9, and I don't know really what's going on with them, so I'd say be a bit more concerned about C9, but I'm excited to play both of them because I think they're both good teams.
All right, exciting stuff. Obviously, we're going to be hyping those matches up in the coming weeks here, because the three of you are separating from the rest of the pack leading into Proving Grounds. Now, I do want to open it up and give you an opportunity. Shout out anybody on the team, anybody watching at home before we close up the interview. Podium is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I think across the board we had a really good series. I think everyone stepped up. Tony had a really good game 1, and Tommy had a really good game 2, and Trevor and Ethan both played really well across the board. So I think I just think everyone did their part today.
Awesome, everyone doing their part. And thank you so much, Shine, for doing yours, coming on here and chatting with us after a 2-0 day, 3-1 week, and now prep going into next week. So best of luck with that.
Thanks.